Step one, put a little tab off the top, falls right out. Part number 593260. New filter goes in. Orientation doesn't matter. This is a Chinese knockoff, so there's no part number. So just get it off the other one if that original equipment matters to you. Now once everything is clean, find the little teeth. And they hook on right at the bottom. They hook on right at the bottom, and then you just push. And that's it. Just to re-show that, goes off with the top tab, hooks in, pushes on. Let's go ahead and pull the spark plug. There we go. There's your spark plug. RC12YC on the old spark plug. I'm trying to get rid of some old inventory, as you can see, because we're getting into a new shop. So I'm just going to use this 694385. It's just a gold tip. Lasts longer. Marketing, I would assume. But I've had this laying around for about 6 years, and I've not used it, so in it goes. Just as a little tip, you don't want to cross thread your spark plug, so something you can do, I'm going to try to get in here. There we go. Put your spark plug in. Instead of turning clockwise, turn it counterclockwise slowly. And when it's seated and ready to thread, you'll feel a little click. Maybe I can get it on camera. It's hard to hear. I'll see if I can get it again. So it's hard to show on camera, but whenever it's actually seated, it gives a little click, and you can kind of feel it drop into place, and then you know you're not going to be cross-threaded. In most cases, it shouldn't matter, but if you're worried about it, that's a little trick that I always do, kind of subconsciously at this point. Tighten it up. When you do your spark plugs, you just want to go hand tight, a little snug. So I just go, whoop, and that's it. Take your boot, push it on until you hear a click, and it should be on there pretty snug. We'll look at blades now. Typically, if you're outside, what you want to do is take and tilt the mower with the air filter up. So you'd want to go this way. Okay, and you just tilt it on its side. Being that I am in the shop, I'm going to tilt it back, perch it precariously, and what we'll do now, take that same spark plug bolt, 5/8, and that'll get your blade off. So tilt it up. We'll take 5/8 inch. Inspect your blade, make sure it's not bent. This one's very, very, very dull, and it's chipped up. Technically, you want to replace a blade that's too chipped up. This one is okay in my opinion, so I'm just going to sharpen it. And then you want to take a scraper, scrape off all the buildup. So scraping your deck is one of those things that you should really do after every time you mow. The reason being, If you let this grass buildup sit too long, you end up getting rust. Do that after every mow to prevent rust and to make it a lot easier for yourself. Because fresh grass is always easier to scrape. Now I'm going to show you this rust. And that's what happens when you don't scrape. That whole side has it. And a little bit over here. That's especially going to be true for your cheaper mowers. And thinner metal on these decks, you really want to keep them scraped. They'll last forever. So when you're sharpening your blades, don't go crazy. You want to try and keep your angle as best you can. And it doesn't need to be razor sharp. You're not cutting paper slowly. You're not shaving with it. You're cutting grass. It's going fast. You just put a little bit of an edge on it. You're still going to have your little chips there. Let me see if I can get it. You're still going to have your chips. Here's the other side. Still going to have your chips. And then something I'll do is I'll take one pass on the back side to get rid of any burrs. And you really, one thing with these mower blades, and this is true for all mower blades, but especially these 20-inch mowers, this metal is cheap on these. This metal is thin, and it's not like a commercial mower blade where you can just, you can really burn through these. And what happens is you sharpen too much, you sharpen too much, you sharpen too much, and you actually lose the temper on the metal. The temper is what makes it hard. It's what makes it hold its edge. These are not tempered nearly as well because it's the type of metal is not going to hold the edge anyway. So if you grind it, get it super hot, you're going to make this already weak, thin metal that much weaker. So when you do these little small mower blades, just a quick zip, 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 zip. Do one quick pass on the back to get rid of any burrs. You don't even have to do that really. But don't just keep, don't do that on these. Orientation is going to go this way, where your wing is pointing toward the metal. Okay? And then the way your blade adapter is set up, it only fits one direction. Okay? Now you can flip it and put it on upside down, but you want the cup to go this direction. You want the wing here to face inside. If it's facing down, it's not going to cut. And you'll notice too, the edge of the blade comes to the edge of the deck on the top and the bottom. So there's a few ways to know if your blade is on correctly. Technically, if you want to get crazy with it, your torque spec is 30 foot-pounds. I change my blades a little too often for that, and it doesn't really matter. Now obviously don't go too loose, but you don't have to go crazy with it. Alright, so if you want to get crazy with your maintenance, there's a belt that drives the blade. There's a belt that drives your transmission. Now, this particular mower, it's very difficult to access, and this is totally unnecessary, but it will lengthen the life of your belt if you do this, which is basically take a belt dressing or a belt conditioner and get in there and spray that belt. Okay? And again, it's hard to access, but do what you can. Again, totally unnecessary, but it does make these belts last a lot longer. If this one wasn't so difficult to have to take apart, you'd have to undo bolts on the bottom to take off this plastic shield. It makes it very difficult to access. And with it being unnecessary, I'm not going to do it. But you could absolutely take that plastic shield off and spray your transmission belt. If one of these belts breaks, it's an absolute pain to have to take everything apart. It's not that bad, but it's not fun. And I'm not doing it. Alright. We'll pour some oil in. I'm just going to pour what I've got, so ignore what I'm using. What you're going to want to use, so what you're going to want to use is a 4-cycle lawnmower oil. They do sell them in just the little quarts that will be the exact size for this mower. I will link that in the description, and I will write that on the screen right now, that part number for that oil bottle, if you don't want to guess. If you don't care and you have just some bulk oil laying around and you just want to use that, just fill it up in between those two little dots at the bottom of your dipstick. I'm just going to use what oil I had laying around. I typically don't overthink used lawnmower engine oil, so in my opinion, oil is oil is oil. I've never had issue running just a basic cheapo oil. I do like using the funnel though. We'll give it just a hair more. I do like to use a funnel because that oil sticks to the sides really bad, and I have overfilled mine a little bit. Whoops, that's too much. And if you overfill, what ends up happening is it will actually blow white smoke. So if you have a lawnmower blowing white smoke, don't be alarmed, just check that oil level. So I'll empty this off before I fire it off.